How can a local contractor win more kitchen remodeling jobs? That is our topic today. I'm Carl Willis with Remodeling Marketing Team, and I'm glad you've joined us. And so let's get into our topic today. How can you win more kitchen remodeling jobs in your area as a local home remodeling contractor? Well, first and foremost is you want to develop a strong online presence. And I'm going to invite you to check out some of our other content. You'll hear us talk about the ecosystem. And so this is where we're going to start. You need to create a strong brand presence, and the way that you do that is through your ecosystem. In fact, there's what we call the digital dominance method. We go over this in our webinars on a regular basis. And that is bringing all of these components that you can utilize for brand deployment and getting them to work cohesively. Obviously, your website is going to be the center of that ecosystem, but nowadays there's a second center of that ecosystem, and that is your Google Business Profile. So both of those have to be strong, they have to be well developed, they have to be fully optimized so that they're highly visible and that they do the job they're meant to do, which is convert visitors into leads, prospects, and customers. But then outside of that, you have your social media universe. You've got your Instagram, you've got your Facebook, you've got LinkedIn. Then you've got your video universe, YouTube. And then you've got your directories, House and Porch and Angie's and Better Business Bureau and whatever other directories that you're listed in. And then you've got your referral network from your existing customers or your BNI group. And then you've got your static advertising, things like billboards and the side of your vehicles and shirts that your crews wear. All of those being ways of bringing that brand further and further. If you're using any television advertising, that's going to be a part of it. If you're doing any phone book advertising, not that anybody uses it anymore, but that's part of it as well. And then you've also got just other areas where you can deploy your brand. Maybe that's you're speaking at trade shows or you're setting up a booth at your local home show. There's a lot of ways to deploy that brand. Biggest thing, though, is you want to create this strong online presence. And the way I always describe the ecosystem is to think in terms of Coca-Cola. There's nowhere you go that you can't get away that you can get away from the Coca-Cola brand. If you're at the ball game, you're going to see the Coca-Cola brand. At a restaurant, you're going to see it. On a truck driving down the road, as you walk through the grocery store, as you're on the radio, as you're on TV, as you're online, you're not going to get away from that brand. It is all around you, and that's exactly what you want to do in your community with your prospective audience. You want to be inescapable. You want to get to the place that they cannot get away from you no matter how hard they try. And so that's going to be critical. You also want to develop a portfolio of your work, and you want to show that off on your website. You want to show that off on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your YouTube, anywhere you've got that social angle, Google Business Profile. You want to show off your work. Show what you can do. Don't be shy. Be bold. Put it out there. Let people see the finished product of what you do, what you started with, how you got there, and what the end result looks like. And then follow that up with testimonials from happy customers. And if you can get those on video, that's even more golden than a written review. But at the very least, get those reviews on Google and Facebook. Now, offer competitive pricing. Make sure that your pricing is fair for the service you offer. Don't get in a pricing war. So when we talk about competitive pricing, let me say this. Don't try to be the lowest. When you get into a pricing war, what's going to happen is somebody's always going to undercut you, and you're going to spiral downwards in this never-ending cycle of cutting costs and making deals. But charge a fair price for what you do. Just make sure it's not outrageous compared to what others would charge for the same services. But if you're the best of the best, charge as though you're the best of the best. Your prospects and customers expect that. Just make sure it's competitive. It's not outrageous, that nobody's going to feel like they've been taken advantage of. the key to raising prices, to having a higher price, is you just have to provide greater value. There's an old saying that in the face of great value, price becomes irrelevant. And that's really something you need to grab hold of. You want to build good relationships with other local businesses and suppliers. This is a referral network for you. And so when you take time to build some of those solid relationships, what you're going to find is you're going to pick up business from those. And so this is where things like your networking groups, your chamber of commerce mixers, things like that can be really valuable. Obviously, your relationship with the desk people at your local lumber yard or Lowe's or home improvement is always great. If you can build a good relationship with those people, they can be a great source of referrals for you. And so you really want to make sure that you are developing strong relationships in your community with people who can help you land more of those kitchen remodeling jobs. And then you also want to, again, focus on just the suppliers, because there's going to be a lot of people who might be teetering on that DIY, fence. Are they going to try and do it themselves, or would they rather hire you? And this is where you've got to excite the imagination a little bit with what you can do, so that it becomes a no-brainer for that prospective client that they don't want to do it themselves. They'd rather have you do it because of the great finished product that you're going to deliver. Focus on customer service, and this is key. Your level of customer service, you're producing a great result, is going to do more to help you win more kitchen remodeling jobs than any advertising you'll ever do, any marketing you'll ever do. Satisfied customers love to show off their new kitchens. They love to talk about it. And the more of those satisfied customers you can accumulate, the better off you're going to be. Now, you want to leverage those satisfied customers. And there's a couple of ways you want to do that. Number one, always be asking for Google reviews. One of the things we do for our clients is we put together a spreadsheet, a QR code that they can send out to their customers when they're sending out invoices, or when they're stopping by to do a quality check, or whatever their reasoning might be. That QR code, customer can scan it and immediately leave a review. But you also have third-party services out there that will help you do that as well. And so you might want to look at one of those services. And then finally, just always be asking. If you'll continue to ask, you will get those reviews. Now, what's even more golden, though, when you have a happy customer standing in their new kitchen, ask, hey, can I take a quick selfie video and have you just talk for a minute or two about what you love about your new kitchen, what you loved about working with us, and would you leave us this video testimonial so we can use it as a case study? And so that's a great way, because video is just more powerful. Now it's not just words in a review. It's somebody actually sharing. You can see their excitement. You can hear it in their voice. You can see their face. All of those types of things. Now, let me say this when it comes to reviews. We don't want to just see 5 stars and no commentary. So anytime you're asking for reviews, you do want to ask your clients, hey, would you write us a couple of sentences and talk about what it is we did for you? And then once that review goes live, you want to do the same thing. You want to respond to that review and write a couple of sentences about the work that you did. It'll make a stronger review. It's easier for Google to index, and Google loves that stuff. So be sure and do that. And then finally, specialize in a particular area. Become the go-to expert or the go-to specialist in a certain area of kitchen remodeling. Maybe your thing is a certain type of design. Maybe it's certain usages of that kitchen area. But you figure out what your expertise is. Don't just be somebody who does kitchens. Be able to expound on that we are the specialist in granite countertops. We are the specialist in kitchen cabinet replacement. We are the specialist in a certain type of tile flooring. Become the specialist. Become the go-to expert in those things. People love working with experts. And so it's okay to to narrow down. There's an old saying, the riches are in the niches. And so figure out a way to niche down your kitchen remodeling services, and you're going to be able to propel your business that much quicker. As always, if you would love to schedule a strategy session with us, we'd love to talk with you. You can do that online at our website, remodelingmarketingteam.com. And I look forward to talking with you in the near future.